Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames. In this video, we're gonna talk about Jeanniemai most recent interview on the Jennifer Hudson show, where she basically said that she found out about her divorce the same time the rest of the world did. Now guys, I have to say that, I see a lot of women on the internet, they're believing Jeanniemai's claims, and I realize that the reason why many women are believing her, it is because they have had some kind of experience similar to Jeannie's. People are not willing to put their feelings aside to really look into everything that's going on between Jeezy and Jeanniemai. But I'm happy that I'm balancing my emotions to look into this and to realize that women often do manipulate men more than we are willing to publicly and openly admit. And I'm happy that I'm at the stage where I have grown mature enough to set my emotions aside, irrespective of my experience with men. Not because I've dated a bad guy who was, a cheater and a liar in the past. It doesn't mean that when I see Jeezy saying that he has changed, it doesn't mean that he's telling a lie, because all men lie. And I don't believe that all men lie. I do believe that men lie a lot. And I do believe that men treat women based on what standards they are also willing to accept in some cases. And this is why women will often experience a different version of a man. Also, I've seen in my comment section wherein women are saying that men don't change as they get older. I'm sorry that you have those men in your circle who have refused to change, but from my culture, I do see maturity in these men as they get older. I see maturity in my own siblings as they get older, and I see maturity in the men in my community as they get older. I can clearly recall from memory how immature they used to be at the age of 22, and how egotistic, and how they used to chase after women and saw it fit to have a lot of women. But now those guys have gotten older. I can see where they have garnered a lot more wisdom, and I can see where they have applied those wisdom in their daily lives. And I'm proud to say that many of those men are happily married and are in committed union, and have been so for even more than a decade. So to the woman who said that they've never experienced that, I'm so sorry to learn that your circle is like that. Maybe you want to find yourself more around people who are centered in the belief of family. And I also realized that even though I don't necessarily like Christians, because most of them are hypocritical, I realize that when you center yourself around religious people, there can be a lot of advantages as well as disadvantages. But for me, I have to say that the Christian people, well, not Christian, because I'm surrounded by a strong mix of culture. We have Muslim, Jews, Christians, and the list goes on, Buddhists. So when I look at the families that I'm centered around, they are all about union, marriage, keeping that family bond, that family connection. So based on that, and based on the many men and women that have, been lucky enough, because through some of these comments, I'm realizing just how fortunate that I've been to been associated with, well-rounded people, I have to say that I find that people are not realizing that, men do change. And I happen to believe that Jeanniemai is lying on Jizzy, and I believe that she's emotionally, you know, basically just using emotions to sway the public to believe that what she's saying is factual when it's not. I do believe that Jizzy can change, and I do see some amount of change on that man, even though I'm on the outside looking in. Um, I can say that when she said she found out that she was getting a divorce the same time the rest of the world did, I honestly don't believe her. And I don't believe her based on her own words. Previous words that she's used in previous interviews, for me, have laid the foundation for me to believe that she is a liar. And I believe that they've always had discussions, because I can clearly remember Jeanniemai saying that, she spoke to Jizzy in a particular manner, and Jizzy corrected her and let her know that such behavior is not going to stand with her. And she was like, no one has corrected her before on her mannerism. And when that came out, at that point, I did not see, and the interview with Jay-Z and Muni Long did not happen. And when I watched that interview, even though I haven't watched all of it, when I watched that interview with Jay-Z, what I saw was a man that was being emotionally abused, emotionally broken by his wife. And when you're up against a narcissist, it's not an easy battle. I believe that Jizzy has met a woman who he never in a million years thought that, a woman could be so highly manipulative and highly abusive. And I believe that was Jeannie. I believe that Jeannie was highly manipulative. I believe that she was highly abusive. And I believe that they had discussions. I believe that he told her that, if things do not change, we're going to have to call it quits. And I believe that because he still loved her, still poured into her unconditionally, she did not take his words seriously. I believe that because Jeanniemai has always been able to do her thing and get away with it, just like a spoiled brat. She thought that, Jesus would never leave me. He loves his daughter to the moon and back. He wouldn't want to lose that. And I believe that she was very much asleep to his words, and hence why it was such a shocker and a embarrassment to her when GZ filed for divorce. So not because Jeanniemai is a woman, and not because, she might be wearing her emotions on her sleeve, it doesn't believe that if she says Jizzy had cheated on her, and Jizzy is known to be a cheater in the past, it doesn't mean that I'm going to automatically believe what she's saying. I am not believing her one bit. I believe she knew the divorce was coming, but she didn't take his words seriously. And that proved that she had no respect for her husband nor marriage. And when women support behaviors like these, this is a woman move on to be consistently broken and then steps into the third marriage and, for that third one to truly work, they are going to have to do a lot of healing wherein they could have healed before moving on. I believe that woman encourages, woman who experience immense amount of trauma to use a relationship as solitude and, or refuge to say rather. And I believe that such behavior should not be encouraged. I believe that we all should take the time out to truly understand who we are and heal that broken part of us, because we're all human beings. We have real feelings. And I do believe that if women would just take the time out to truly heal and connect with themselves, they would realize that marriage is no goal. Because marriage really isn't a goal. Because if you're going to just get married for, the sake of everyone looking at you and say she's Mrs. So and so, that is not a goal. Marriage is a union, and the goal is to make your union a successful one. The goal is to ensure that you choose someone who you can love forever, or with a possibility of loving forever, growing, building together. It's like a child, when you have a child, you have to be open to your child raising you as well as you raising your child. And if you're not willing to treat a marriage like that, because as a mother, I can tell you that you cannot give up on your child. The good comes with the bad. And even when they get to that age of adulthood, whether it may be 18, 22, 24, I know that for many parents, they don't go with the government standards. For many parents, adulthood is 22, 24, 26, 28. So whatever your adulthood number is for your child, I know that even when it gets to that point, our job as parents is not over. You still have to love on your babies, guide them, protect them, and even provide for them. It may not be financial, but rest assured, it will always be emotional and imparting wisdom and knowledge on them. A marriage is like that. You have to consistently pour into it and do so from a loving place in order for it to be successful. And when I look at how the internet views marriage and talk about marriage, it is rather sad that some people have experienced the things that they have. And I would say to these people, whatever your beliefs are, I believe that religion has caused a lot of damage, but I also do believe that it saves. And through, finding yourself in a community with similar ties as yours, like people with similar belief, people who believe in family, union, commitment. I believe that when you have yourself surrounded by people like those, you will often see things differently and work to, achieve self before everything else. Because if you're not in a good place as an individual, marriage could be very challenging and very difficult for you to be in, because you're already not good with yourself. How can you be good with others in a union? So marriage takes a lot, and it's sad that the internet see things the way they do. It is sad that women see men as never changing. I'm really sad for those women who have such experience. And I have to say that I do hope that you one day realize that everything and everyone changes at some point in time for the most part. And that's all I wanted to share in this video with you guys. Let me know what are your thoughts, and see you all later. Bye, guys.